and welcome to Bayside's Cooking School. Today, week 5 is a chicken schnitzel burger, and I actually have 4 students here with me today, and they're going to say hello to you at the end of the lesson. Alright, so everyone's favourite, chicken schnitzel burger. You guys will need half a chicken breast fillet. So if you guys are doing this for your family, and you've got a family of 4, then you get 2 chicken breasts, alright? So I'm going to take out my chicken breast, and what you can do is you can just slice it in half, alright? So that's quite big, but I will leave that for the moment because I'll do that first. I will do it first. Alright, so here's our chicken breast, and what you need to do is cut it in half. Now, chicken breasts, they are fat on one end and thin on the other, all right? So and this is the tenderloin. If you're wondering what's hanging off that bit, that's the tenderloin. You know, chicken tenders, that's what chicken tenders are, all right? So I'm gonna cut it lengthways, like this. Put your hand on it. I know it's slimy, it will feel a bit gross, but just, you know, woman up and do it. Okay, so cut it like this, and now this is in half. And you know when you see them at the deli counter at Coles and they look like hearts? I don't know if you've ever seen them, they look like that. That's because they've cut them in half, all right? And then they bash them to make them thinner. So there's your 2, that's a lot. So if you would like to flatten them out at home, please do so. But I think today I'm actually going to leave them because it's not too bad. So now we're going to crumb. You can lightly tenderize the chicken fillet with a rolling pin or a meat mallet if you really want to, but I think we're going to be okay today. So we're going to crumb. So if anybody can remember what to do when you crumb, you need egg, flour and breadcrumbs. So what do you do first? The flour, the egg, or the breadcrumbs? Does anyone know?
Egg.
Egg? No.
Flour.
Flour first, then egg, then breadcrumbs. I know it seems counterintuitive, but that's what we do. So I'm going to whisk I've got a fork here. All right, so I'm going to whisk my egg. Now, the recipe says half an egg, because this is just for one burger, okay? But if you're doing this at home, you can do the whole egg and do it for your family. I'm just going to put it on a plate. If you're doing it at home with lots, you can put it in a bowl or a tin. A roasting tray is normally really good. So then you have some flour. And you will need just a tablespoon of flour. Not very prepared today, because I have an audience. All right, so a tablespoon of flour, just there. And then some breadcrumbs. Now you can make your own breadcrumbs if you don't have any by whizzing up in the food processor some breadcrumbs, or you can just buy the dried ones from the supermarket, or if you want to get super fancy and you've got panko crumbs, you can use panko, that's fine too. They're really crunchy, the Japanese style. And you will need 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. So I will just move this for a moment so you guys can see. All right, now you can see. So I'm going to actually put my crumbing in the order that I'm going to do it in, all right? So, it's pretty easy. There is my breadcrumbs. All right, so I've got my chicken breast, spread that out. I'm going to do flour first. Now, just dust off any excess flour because you don't want any excess flour. So it's just like that. See that little guy's covered in flour now? And then we have egg. So my egg is whisked, and you can see that I don't use a great deal of egg, and the reason that we do the egg, of course, is for the breadcrumbs to stick to it. So then I'm going to put this guy here. Now you can use tongs if you want, you don't have to use your hands like I'm doing, and if you're doing a few, it's a good idea to use tongs because you can actually it can get like your fingers get caked. So I'm going to press down my breadcrumbs, and it's pretty much crumbed. That's it. It's very simple. Okay. Now, do we put the oven on? No, we don't. All right, so if you're doing this at home for a couple of people, put your oven on about 180 degrees and get a rack with a roasting dish so you can put the ones that you fried into the oven and keep them warm and cook them a little bit more, because I've found that a lot of students, when they go to cook their fried chicken, it's raw in the middle, okay? So we don't want that. All right, I'm going to put on my oven, and I'm going to put it on to a high heat to fry my chicken. And you can also do chicken palmy burgers if you like. You can make a tomato sauce, and then you can get ham and cheese if you want to go, you know, completely crazy. Right. Vegetable oil, don't fry in olive oil, guys, because if you fry in olive oil, it will smoke and burn. Vegetable oil has a higher flash point, so that means that it takes a lot more heat. Also, olive oil, when it's heated that much, it kind of makes it taste bitter. So, I'm going to grab my tongs, hopefully, and so while that's heating up, I'm just going to put these to the side and take a look what I need to do. What else I need to do? I need to make a little herbed aioli. All right, so some of you guys have been doing some beautiful burgers at home, I've seen. So I've got a whole egg mayonnaise, so not the really vinegary mayonnaise, and I'm just going to put in, I think it says 2 tablespoons. Right. 2 tablespoons, and some mixed herbs. You can just put a teaspoon of mixed herbs in. Right, this is making my, that's quite a lot, my herb aioli. And then also some crushed garlic. You guys can crush some garlic in. Just be aware, if you're using raw garlic, it will be quite strong. So just kind of go easy. Otherwise you'll have a really, really garlicky mayo. Some people like that, but just in case. And so I've got my herb aioli. I've just mixed it up. And you can give it a little taste. Make sure it tastes good. Does it taste good? Oh yeah, it tastes okay. It tastes like mayonnaise with dried herbs and garlic in it. Just like we thought it would. Alright, so to see how hot your oil is. So I have the oil, we're going to shallow fry. There's no health difference between shallow frying and deep frying. It's all bad for you. But we're hospitality, it doesn't matter. So I've got a chopstick here, or you can use a wooden skewer. I'm just going to put it in here. And if it bubbles around my wooden skewer, it's ready. I don't want you to throw a bit of water on it. I don't want, because that would be bad. I just want you to use something wooden, or even a few of the breadcrumbs to put in there to see if they start. I'm going to turn that down, otherwise it will burn. But the temperature will decrease as soon as I put this guy in there. All right, so pop them in. Okay, nice sizzle there. Might just ask one of the guys to, oh no, that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to use lovely fresh cos lettuce for my burger. We're going to have tomato and lettuce on it, just to give it some nice freshness. Get it out. Okay, so I have lovely bit of lettuce. You can leave it whole, or you can shred it if you want. Entirely up to you. Can I get you to get me a chopping board, please, Lewis? Thank you. so much. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I can kind of smell and see that it needs to be turned over. So I'm going to pick it up and you guys will be able to see on this, it's nice and golden brown, okay? Now, if you want to toast your buns, go for it. So I've got a burger roll here. Using a bread knife, I'm just going to cut it in half. Alright, and I'm not going to use any butter or margarine because I'm going to use my mayonnaise, but you're welcome to use butter and margarine because it just stops it from soaking through. I've got this one here. I might just chop up the lettuce just a little bit, just the hard bit. I'm still going to use it. I'm going to put it on my burger. So that's going to take a little while to cook. And remember, put them in the oven if you guys want to, because they'll cook longer. If they start to burn, then you can put them in the oven. If the breadcrumbs are getting black, then transfer them to your tray. You can use an oven tray like this, okay, one of these, and put it in the tray for them to cook longer before you assemble. Now this does actually have cheese, up to you guys, if you want to put cheese on it or not. I don't know, I personally, the kids are like, yeah. I personally don't think it needs cheese, but you guys have cheese with everything, so let's not change what we do now. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, that's definitely done. You can see there that's probably a little bit overdone. So I'm going to turn it off and I'm just going to put it on something with a paper towel on it, some kitchen towel, just to let it sit. Okay, and that's going to cook it a little bit more too, so you guys can see, there it is there, a little bit overdone. It's golden brown, just on the overdone side. Okay, so I have sliced cheese. You guys can use grated cheese at home if you don't have sliced cheese. It's entirely up to you, or as I said, you don't have to put the cheese on it. For our vegan and vegetarian friends, you can use the vegan cheese, and for the frying you can crumb a bit of tofu. It's really nice. Alright, and also you can also get vegan mayonnaise as well. It's just made with oil, no eggs, so that also is good too. And some tomato, sliced tomato. So I have changed my board and my knife. And I'm going to just slice this. And then I might actually get a nice plate out for you. That's all right. All right, so now we're going to plate up. Let's see, can you guys see me? Yes, you can. I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom and the rest on the top. So I've seen some good burgers you guys have done so far. I hope your family has been enjoying them. This is the last one that we'll do before we all get back to school. And next week, I hope, if you guys choose your recipes for your assignment this week, next week you guys will be testing your burgers out, because it's week 6. Yeah, I think next week. So, we'll, all right. On the bottom goes the chicken schnitzel, like so. On the top, I'm going to put the lettuce. That's a little bit big. I might shred that guy. And some more lettuce. You guys can put the cheese on the. Sorry, I should put the cheese on there. It'll melt it a little bit, like that. You can toast your bun if you want. and some tomato. And then on top, right, like that. And there we have chicken schnitzel burger with cheese and lettuce and tomato. So if I can get my lovely assistants who are here today to come and say hello to you guys. You'll all see each other next week.